as with this type of fuel pump and the other ones, you can put them on with the flywheel on here, but for the photography, for the video, I'm going to take this flywheel off. You remember we never did set it tight, so I'm going to remove the flywheel just so that everyone can see what's taking place. Time to put the fuel pump on. Loosen that up. Yeah, that's good. And you remember we had this in there to kind of set that adhesive on that right yonder, if you remember right. This side cover here used the fuel pump that mounted in the front, and it's got the cutout in the front here. Now some of these blocks will have no cutout, or they'll have two cutouts. We'll talk about them blocks a little bit later. But the exhaust push rod got a new spring on yonder, unplated. The collar, and that collar set screw goes in that little indent right there. Put that up in yonder, and I'll show you something after we get on here what makes this easy. But now you can put this fuel pump on here with the flywheel on here. You just do it a different way. But we have to get this up on yonder, so put that right up in there. And thread this push rod all the way up to the where you can see it on this end down here. And I did run a tap and a die on each of those right there in order for it to be a good fit. Good clean threads. And I did rotate this flywheel to where that the lobe, the shortest lobe is to the front. Okay, that's there. The fuel pump, and before, over on the workbench, before I came over here, what I done is I took that piece of copper wire, I pushed that plunger down as far as I could get it, and then run that wire around here. That will take the pressure off of this spring and make putting it on there easier. It goes right up in here like this. Put that on the back, on that stud back yonder. That up here like that. And this, let's put us just a little bit of, this is that hardening type Permatex. Just a little bit right there on them threads. We got the bushing and a washer. And the threads goes into the block. They don't go into this housing here. That'll go right across through yonder, line everything up. Put that right up in there. And now what I've done, which may be escaping your attention, is I got two nuts right here. I got a skinny one and then the one I'm going to use, and it's only on there 2 or 3 threads. Just enough to where that I can tighten all of this up. And now we're just tightening up the stud at this point. Okay, and that did get tight. So it needs a little more. Oh yeah, that's gonna be good. Okay, let's break this apart right here. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. I had a cinch nut there, and I want it to be cinched up a little bit more. So I'm going to tighten that up and make the stud go on in some more. And it's not. Yeah, maybe it was. Oh yeah. Okay. Now, if you remember, this washer out here has to be small enough to where that it tighten up on that forked thing right there. So put that back on, put that up on there like that, and tighten that up. Oh yeah, that's more better. We want to have a little play in that in this, but not very much. And that's tightening up. Okay. That's tight. This is tightening onto the bushing, not onto this forked piece. Okay, that's good and tight. And still have a little bit of play. Oh yeah. That's pretty good. And the exhaust push rod, at this point, I can bring that back. Now we can cut our tie wire loose. And let the plunger come up to this. Yes, plenty clearance. And the spring in the fuel pump pushes upward on this plunger. At the same time, the spring on the exhaust push rod pushes back on this eccentric arm. That's all the art to putting on a fuel pump. It's installed. There's just nothing more to do in this area. It's completely done. And just on the initial right here, I'm going to put a drop of light oil. Just a very small light oil in there at this time. We will oil it up really good later. But we've installed the fuel pump. Now the next step is the plumbing, the fuel lines, and let's get over there and see what we can find. I will show you one thing as we go. The reason that I could put this push rod on there just by hand is on the front part up here. I'll show you. Y'all see that between that rocker arm and this standoff, I helped that out there, and I put that that's a die actually, but you could have used anything in there to relieve this pressure right here. So I can take that out of there now. See that set that free. Oh yeah. Okay, now the next thing that I got to do is to adjust this collar. Okay, let's find our little indent. Oh, there it is right there. That's where our collar's got to be, and that sets the tension. That sets the correct tension on the spring. And the spring will always be longer than that is in order to have tension. So you pull that up there, free from that, and bring this up and turn that set screw, moving that around, making sure it's in that little set screw right there in that indent, and then tighten it up. This will be sufficient, and let go of your spring. Okay, now we've got the right tension on our exhaust push rod. Now when we're making adjustments, this will end up in a different place in order to come out with our correct exhaust valve timing. We will get to that. But at this point we can actually we can actually put this in there now. But the reason we hadn't put it in there yet is we needed to know the clearance right here to where to put our fuel pipe. So let's put that in there.